I've never told anybody this before. Let it out. Here it comes.
Hello everybody, welcome to my first video on this channel. My name is Kate and I like to talk about the good, the bad, and the very bad of cinema. On today's Trash Talk, I am going to be breaking down one of the biggest treasures in the muck, the ultimate garbage day, 1987's Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2.
Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 2.
This particular franchise was seemingly doomed from the start of the first controversial film. If you didn't know, it was pulled from theaters because some people were clutching their pearls at the thought of a murderous Santa Claus, even Mickey Rooney, but does that man really have a say on what's offensive or not? There are 5 films in this series with one on the way, and I'm excited to see what the upcoming remake has in store for us. Produced by Silent Night Releasing Corporation, okay. This low-budget straight-to-video sequel is directed by Lee Harry. Not everyone's a little trash goblin, so I wasn't too surprised to see that this film didn't hit with the average moviegoer. It has 2 stars on IMDb, 30% on Rotten Tomatoes, and most heartbreaking of all, a 2.3 out of 5 on Letterboxd. But enough background, let's get into it. Spoiler alert, but it doesn't really matter. We open with our lead Ricky doing the leg bounce I'm all too familiar with while having an ash competition with Shelley Duvall, who is the clear winner. Icon rip. Side note, I begged my mom to buy me shoes like this at Kmart. I thought if I wore them with socks, it would be giving Dragon Ball. It was not. The conversation between Ricky and the doctor starts off strong with my favorite type of dialogue.
Fuck off, Doc.
The setup is that the doctor is taping, questioning, and listening to Ricky's story that led him to the facility that he is currently serving time in. Ricky's brooding existence is strong as his dead eyes stare dramatically into the camera. This man is doing the most with his eyes and his eyebrows throughout the entire movie. It is almost painful how hard Ricky acts to let us know that he is a tough guy who doesn't give a shit.
I don't sleep.
Don't get me wrong though, I love how unhinged Ricky is compared to his brother. After the brief introduction, we cut to the beginning of the first film. This is where the Santa trauma originated from, with older brother Billy witnessing their parents being killed after pulling over to help a man dressed as him. This is what led Billy and baby Ricky to be placed in this orphanage, and even though Ricky is in the first film, we really don't see him until the very end when he delivers the final line.
Naughty.
So this is gonna flip-flop for a bit. And this is also why you could probably just watch the second one and not the original, because on top of Eric Freeman's Daniel Day-Lewis-esque acting, my count is that they flashed back to the original 7 times. That's crazy. This movie is only an hour and 28 minutes long, and 40 minutes of that is just scenes from the original, and the peak scenes, mind you. The flash forwards are mostly just to show Ricky's sass, and the flashbacks are mostly just to show Billy's sweet mullet and his not so sweet experience with Mother Superior. In the flashbacks, we see the abuse Billy suffered at the hands of Mother Superior. Instead of getting the counseling he needs, he's constantly punished for little to no reason, even being beaten for catching people having sex like he isn't just a child that stumbled upon that situation. In another scene, she forces Billy to sit on Santa's lap despite him pleading that he does not want to, which at least gives us one of the arguably best punch scenes ever. After leaving the orphanage, Billy starts working at a store. He gets triggered into murder mode on Christmas Eve, leading to a trail of fun kills that crescendo in Billy being shot in front of Ricky at the orphanage, with the implication that the homicidal torch has been passed. Look how weird this cop's stance is while shooting. Okay, so now that we got all the flashbacks and the background of the original out of the way, this is where part 2 starts spreading its wings. From witnessing Billy's death, Ricky is, of course, never the same. He has developed even more anxieties towards nuns and Saint Nick. Luckily, at age 12, he is adopted by Bob Belcher, and his new parents are willing to work with his troubles instead of trying to beat them out of him. Those past feelings do resurface though. While walking through the woods one day, Ricky comes across a couple, quote unquote, and his urge to punish arises when gross rapist Eddie starts forcing himself onto the woman. I have no sympathy for his demise, and neither does the woman as she thanks Ricky before leaving the scene. I was a little surprised that Ricky didn't take her out as well, but politeness does go a long way.
Thank you.
After some pacing around and trying to intimidate the doctor, we found out that Ricky was unable to go to college and had to get a job.
So I got a job.
At his job one night, Ricky catches two men in a squabble, and his need to punish arises again. Even though he didn't start it, he certainly finishes this fight in quite the umbrella move. After hearing these stories of crime, the doctor is starting to sweat. He starts hinting at wrapping things up, but Ricky is haughty enough to keep him interested. After saying that he's done talking, he obviously isn't, because he starts giving us the tea on his former squeeze, Jennifer.
I'm finished talking, Henry.
We cut back to the meet cute of Jennifer hitting Ricky's motorcycle. Of course, he drives a motorcycle. With love at first sight, Jennifer hops on the back of his bike, and shortly after his date, while having a date night at literally the worst movie theater ever, Ricky gets sent into punish mode again after he realizes that the film that they are watching is about a killer Claus.
What did you say this movie was about?
Oh, it's great. It's about this guy who dresses up like Santa Claus and kills people.
What?
Fun fact, it is the first film playing on the screen. He leaves Jennifer to take out the rowdy boys in the back, which is when not-so-smooth creep Chip pops up behind Jennifer. This is probably the longest conversation in a movie theater ever. I am shocked these people did not leave. We find out that Chip and Jennifer had a previous relationship, and Chip is still down bad for Jennifer, but she is having none of it. He cheated on her and ruined her best sweater.
Yuck.
Post-kill clarity has Ricky in a better mood to watch the movie, which makes Chip skedaddle with his other lady, who was literally just standing there watching him drool all over Jennifer. Girl, figure out your life. The bar has always been low. In his famous comfy sweater, Ricky and Jennifer are strolling through a neighborhood where they run into douchebag Chip working on his car. The classic scene is palpable. Chip does get a pretty fun exit with Ricky hooking him up to the engine of his car, but only after he tells him that him and Jennifer had hooked up in the past. Shocked she isn't a virgin, like that matters, and if it does, maybe communicate that before you fuck. Ricky unfortunately chokes Jennifer. A timid local cop randomly shows up at the scene too late and swiftly gets his gun taken by Ricky, who pops him in the head. Wielding his new weapon, Ricky roams the neighborhood, maniacally chuckling and taking out the resident.
Garbage day! Huh? No!
The Fuzz shows up, pleading with Ricky not to self-exit, and they get their wish because Ricky is all out of bullets.
Young and stupid. That was my problem.
Now that we know how Ricky got here, he puts out a cigarette on Jennifer's face, and we get a slow zoom to a dead doc who was killed off screen. Very anticlimactic. I don't understand how, but Ricky escapes the facility he's in with one thing on his mind: Mother Superior. Without any snow in sight, Ricky pulls up to building number 666, which is a very fitting number for her. Keen on what's going on, Mother Superior is ready to fight. I'd also like to point out, did she get hit in the face with acid at some point? Because what's going on there? Unfortunately for her, Ricky has a steady stream of one-liners and an axe to give him the upper hand. With a very powerful statement from Ricky and a swing of the axe, Mother Superior's head is chopped off. The police show up, pumping Ricky full of bullets and ending his reign of terror. Or did they? No, they didn't. He's in the third installment. It's not good.
You know how a pea brain gets his belt off?
How?
In the end, if I want to reach, which I do, the Silent Night films are an example of PTSD and shared trauma. Billy and Ricky were not given the proper care in the orphanage after experiencing one of the worst things children could. Mother Superior added more damage to their already fragile psyches with her abuse, and without proper coping mechanisms, they were sent out in the world to fail. Both brothers seem stunted emotionally and mentally. They're trapped in a loop of intrusive memories, which are hard to leave in the past because they form so much of the present. Obviously, people can learn how to cope without help and don't resort to violence, but in this case, Billy and Ricky are unable to break through those psychological barriers. Just like this film, they keep reliving their suffering through flashbacks, unable to break away from their holiday nightmare. Thank you so much for watching me yap about this soap opera level Christmas slasher. Bye!
What did you say this movie was about?
Oh, it's great. It's about this guy who dresses up like Santa Claus and kills people.
What?